The Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners of Kansas City, Missouri meeting for August 27, 2024 is hereby called to order. Will Secretary Houston please call roll?
Commissioner Smith.
Present.
Commissioner Contreras.
Here.
Commissioner Taylor.
Present.
Commissioner Goretz.
Here.
President Hayden.
Present.
Director God.
Here.
You tried to make it.
Thank you, Carmen. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the August 13, 2024 board minutes. Do any of my fellow board members have any changes or comments to this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. I am honored to introduce the next item on the agenda, which is to congratulate Rebecca Hadjian on her exemplary 24-year career with the Parks and Recreation Department. I will now turn it over to Deputy Director Richard Allen to share more about her years of service.
Rebecca.
Woohoo!
Before I get started, Rebecca is a rock star. Yeah, so Rebecca began her career with the City of Kansas City, Missouri, January 20th, 1987, in the City Treasurer's Office, a division of the Finance Department as a Clerk 1. She promoted to the Parks and Recreation Department as a Stock Clerk 1 in 1988, and then promoted to Stock Clerk 2 with the Public Works Department in 1989. Then she promoted to Secretary with the City Planning and Development Department in 1997, then briefly left the department in 1999, but returned to the role as Secretary that same year with the Planning and Design Service Division of the Parks and Recreation Department. During Rebecca's 24 years with the Parks and Recreation Department, she's held several positions: Secretary, Clerical Supervisor, Senior Administrative Assistant, and Administrative Officer. Just kind of want to go through, without Rebecca, some of these key projects would have never happened. The improvements at Prospect Plaza, total renovation of the park, Buckeye Greenway, Bridge, Ashland Park Spray Ground, Shoal Creek Golf Course bunkers, Dr. Martin Luther King, the Mahomes Playground, parking lot improvements, the Swope Park Connector Trail, the new Southeast Center Pool, Basel Gateway Project, Road Project, the Red Ridge Road Project, Maplewoods Parkway Road Project, James A. Reed Park Trail and Shelter, Platte Purchase Park Concession and Restroom, Berry Road Park Tennis Courts, Tiffany Hills Athletic Soccer Fields, Shoto and I-35 Road Project, and 81st and Truce Playground, and then the soon-to-be Swope Park Golf Course renovation. With that being said, Rebecca is now closing her career with the city government as a senior procurement officer within the Finance Department division of the Parks and Recreation Department. She officially retires on September 1st of this year, and we would like to thank her for her many roles and her years of dedicated public service, and to wish her well in retirement. And her family's here. She worked hard. She elevated herself through education, and she's been great for the department. So it's all good.
Okay, I'd just like to say thank you all for acknowledging my years of service with the city government, namely the Parks and Recreation Department. I have really enjoyed working in most recent role as a contract administrator. I have faced many challenges with those. I have learned so much. I have also enjoyed working with the many staff I have come in contact with through the years, and I will miss you all. My next adventure will take me to the Kansas City School District, where I will volunteer with the Lead to Read organization. I have always loved mentoring children, so I believe this will be a great fit for my next chapter in life. Again, thank you for everything, and peace, love, and happiness.
Take a picture.
Okay.
All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 32619, considering board approval of amendment number 9 to Starlight Theater Association in the amount of $400,000 for annual improvements to and maintenance of Starlight Theater. Director Cotton's going to speak on this, and I see Lindsay Reed Clifford is here with us, so thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, per our agreement with Starlight, $400,000 was budgeted this year to aid Starlight in the operation, maintenance, and potential improvements of the facility. This is a reimbursable agreement, and Starlight provides documentation before the organization is reimbursed. At this time, staff recommends approval, and Lindsay, President and CEO of Starlight, is available to answer any questions. Any questions for Lindsay?
No, we like the reimbursable. Yeah. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Item's passed. Thanks, Lindsay. All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 32620, considering board approval of an agreement with the Pecos League of Professional Baseball, LLC, for the use of Satchel Paige Stadium. Director Cotton.
Yes, thank you. Last spring, the Boys and Girls Club moved their RBI program to the Urban Youth Baseball Academy, and staff has been working to bring new life to this stadium that has been in existence since the early 1900s. Conversation is ongoing with Kansas City Public School System to bring all 4 high school programs to Satchel Paige. That season would stretch from February to early May. The department has been approached by the Pecos League of Independent Baseball to place the first ever international team in Satchel Paige Stadium for 24 games between May 15th and August 15th. The players will come from Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, and Mexico. In addition to playing games at the stadium, the team will also conduct player clinics for the youth of Kansas City. The team will be called the Kansas City Hormigas, which is Spanish for fire ants. The team will compensate the department 15% of ticket sales, 20% of net concession sales, and $30 per hour for lights. Expected attendance is approximately 200 spectators per game. The Pecos League is seeking approval today so that they can set up an office in Kansas City and begin to recruit host families for the players, who will be between the ages of 19 to 25. The program will enhance the quality of life for the residents of Kansas City and will help with the revitalization of Satchel Paige Stadium by providing affordable family entertainment. The Hormigas will have their first open tryout this September 27th if approved.
Great.
I have a question. Who is responsible? We know that Satchel Paige has some opportunities in the maintenance category. Who will be responsible for that, and will there be any investment prior to this agreement?
So we have been cleaning up the stadium since the Boys and Girls Club moved out. So we are currently working on trying to get all of the toilets flushing again, the water working, the scoreboard needs to be replaced, and then just basic field maintenance itself. The baseball team will take care of all field maintenance for the 3 months that they're here, that we won't have to do that. We'll still have to mow, but all the dragging and the prepping and all that would be on the team.
So am I hearing you say those updates and maintenance needs will be addressed prior to them?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct,
'Cause
yes.
We want to give it in good shape so
Yes,
we
we
can
do.
expect it back in good shape.
Absolutely. And we want to make sure that, there's a RFP that recently broke for that stadium, right? And part of that is we know that we can't renovate that facility much because it's in a FEMA floodplain. But there is discussion of actually moving the facility somewhere else around there, maybe utilizing that as a parking lot in the future. But if this is successful, then this starts the redevelopment of that whole area, obviously towards baseball.
Thank you.
Other than Boys and Girls Clubs, what other groups were using this, are using Satchel?
Boys and Girls Club were the
That's
only
it.
ones
Nobody-
last year.
nobody else?
We did some one-offs. I think Pat Clark rented it from time to time in the past, but really Boys and Girls Clubs were the predominant users of that facility.
And my last question, I see there's a Monday, Tuesday, some Wednesdays. What is the duration? It says 3-month season, but do you have those those specific months?
They would start May 15th, and they would be done in the middle of August.
And this is just for the 2025 season?
Well, if it's successful, then they would like to be here permanently. The Pecos League is the entry-level professional baseball circuit. So they would play teams out of Colorado, Oklahoma, Kansas, Arizona, I think New Mexico. So there's an opportunity for this to become a very, very lucrative area program for that part of town.
Yeah, and I think most importantly, support the positive development of the community that is situated around the space.
And the team manager actually grew up in that neighborhood.
Cool.
Can you, I know they are expecting 200 spectators a game. Is that ticketed admission, or is it, how does admission work?
Well, all admission would run through them. It'd be ticketed. They do online sales, and they do some day of sales. Tickets would be between $5 and $10.
And we get 15% of whatever that number is.
That and 20% of concession sales.
Great. This is exciting.
And you expect that even if Kansas City, Missouri Public School District does have interest in playing there, we'll be able to work out the schedule, so.
And I had that conversation with their athletic director saying, hey, we're working on this. I know we're in discussions of you all returning to Satchel Paige Stadium. And he says, absolutely, we'd be done. By May 15th, we'd have no reason to be there.
Okay, great.
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item is passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32621, considering board approval of an agreement with the Battle of Westport Association for the event commemorating the 160th anniversary of the Battle of Westport. Director Cotton.
Yes, thank you. The Battle of Westport took place on October 22nd and 23rd of 1864. The 160th anniversary of this event will be this October. The Manette Battle of Westport organization would like to host lectures and tours of the different battlefield sites on October 19th. Many of these sites are on Parks and Recreation property. The story of the Douglas Battery will be told. The Douglas Battery engaged in combat in what is known today as Loose Park, and their artillery efforts were directly responsible for helping to eliminate Confederate positions in Loose Park. The Douglas Battery had the distinction of being the only black federal unit to serve entirely under the leadership of black officers. This was a first in the United States Army. This event will be free to the public with no concessions. They will provide the required insurance, naming the city as additional insured. Staff recommends approval of this educational opportunity.
Do we have a representative from the association here today?
I don't see one now.
Okay. I think this is really great. What I would encourage, or at least I look forward to understanding what their communication and how maybe even we can help cross-promote. Because, once again, these type of partnerships really ground us in our history, and I think that's really important.
And we did recently, they contributed a sign talking about the Douglas Battery, and we had that installed over by the water department. So it's a great opportunity for us.
It is. And that piece did run through the Municipal Arts Commission, where I'm responsible and sit. So it's
Yeah.
good to see it all coming
Yes.
together.
All right, with that, may I have a motion to approve resolution number 32621?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item's passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32622, considering board approval of an agreement with the American Indian Chamber of Commerce of the Greater Plains for the use of Weeks Hall and the Rocky Point Shelter located in School Park. We have some dignitaries here for this item, and Director Cotton's going to introduce them.
Yes, thank you. We have Judith Manthe, Principal Chief of the Wyandotte Nation of Kansas. We have Chief Tim Rod of the Ioways of Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa.
Welcome.
We have John Learned of the American Indian Council, Chamber of Commerce of the Great Plains.
Thank you.
We have Bill Cantrell, American Indian Color Guard of Kansas City, President. And we have Wayne Postock, President of the Red Circle Development.
Thank you,
Welcome.
sir.
Weeks Hall, later renamed Hope Lodge, and the Rocky Point Day Camp Shelter have sat vacant and unused since 1999. The American Indian Chamber of Commerce of the Great Plains is in need of space to conduct youth programming and heritage events in an effort to keep alive the traditions and customs of the respective tribes in the Kansas City area. These traditions were prohibited by the Dawes Act of 1887 and the Curtis Act of 1898 and forced American Indians to adopt European American culture and dismantle their tribal way of life. In 1978, American Indians were once again allowed to practice, protect, and preserve their right to freedom to believe, express, and exercise their traditional rights and cultural practices. The Chamber of Commerce of the Great Plains will re-energize an area of Swope Park that is overgrown, dormant, and has been plagued with vagrancy, vandalism, and houseless issues for over 25 years. In the same manner as the Kappa Alpha Psi Alumni Association and the Frontier District of the Scouts are working to revitalize the Swope Interpretive Center, the American Indian Chamber of Commerce of the Great Plains will invest their time, effort, and resources into removing decades of neglect in a long-forgotten portion of Swope Park. They will use the area as a dedicated place to interact with and educate the citizens of Kansas City and the surrounding areas, the histories and legacies of the different tribes, and to showcase elements of the American Indian way of life. They will use the area to positively impact the American Indian community with emphasis on job creation, cultural programs, and youth sports relationships in American Indian communities. Staff recommends approval of this item at this time.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming. I understand from Director Cotton that we may have one or two of you that was going to speak.
Would you like to say something? My name's John Learned. I'm president and co-founder of the American Indian Chamber of Commerce of the Great Plains. I've lived here in Kansas City for close to 30 years, and I've worked with the Kansas City Chiefs for the last 12 and helped counseling them on their problems that they faced and challenges that they were facing, and all of us faced of the ignorance of American Indians and what was important to them. During our course of working with the chiefs, they've banned the headdress. We've been working with a lot of the tribes. Our main tribe that we're working with right now is the Northern Arapaho, who that's how the chiefs got their name, through the working with Mayor Bartle. I think some of you know the story, but what people don't know is how that name actually came into existence, and we're working on a book on how that happened. But what we know is Kansas City has close to 22,000 American Indian families that live here, and a lot of those families that have children, they're not in connection with their tribes. They're like I was, grew up in dominant society. I was fortunate enough, my mother was chairman of the Cheyenne Arapaho, the first woman to lead a federally recognized tribe, so wow. I got a lot of chances to go out to the reservation and see, and so I've never forgotten that. And so what I think we'd like to do is revitalize this space. We have a number of tribes that we're working with right now, and we're just hoping to be a benefit to the city and to everybody. I think everybody benefits when everybody learns more about each other's culture, and that's unfortunately some Indians don't know their own culture, and so this is an opportunity to do that. We've got a plan. We've already got it. We've looked. We know what we'd like to do first, and we're just hoping for the best. So. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you all for coming. Is there anyone else who wanted to speak?
Chairman Tim Rod of the Iowa Tribe of Kansas and Nebraska. We're located northeast part of Nebraska, northeast part of Kansas, southeast Nebraska. Our reservation lies along the Missouri River. We've got diverse operation now, and by having this chamber down here will benefit a lot of my members living on the res and even down here in this area as well. So we've got a lot of entrepreneurship and economic development opportunities that we'll be bringing to this chamber. One of those is a Working Warriors platform that is a working platform for job creation and opportunities, and we've got educational programs that the Iowa Tribe will be bringing to the chamber, such as fiber training opportunities, solar microgrid installation, There's agricultural programs, soil health, food sovereignty, and we've also got just north of St. Joe, we are a magnet site of the Greater Kansas City Foreign Trade Zone. So we're in phase 2 of that. And what's significant about that area is the federal government had purchased that from the Iowas at no cost. And, their intent was for trading. And that's what we are doing now. So there'll be a lot of opportunities that we'll be working with the Greater Kansas City Foreign Trade Zone. And we've got a multi-modal logistics center that will be a part of that zone. So we've got access to river, rail, interstate, and then we've met with the KCI for air cargo. So I know John and I have known each other for many, many years, and him and I came together on an economic development venture several years ago. So it's pretty honored to be a part of this and the opportunity to bring value to this area that will benefit not only my members but many members across other tribes as well. At the end of the day, we're all indigenous from somewhere, so it's great to be a part of this opportunity today and find ways that we can benefit each other efforts in both areas. So Wananaway is the Iowa word for thank you, so Wananaway.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank park staff for finding, continuing to find ways to partner with organizations on some of our properties that Director Cotton mentioned are very great relationships we've had with Cap Alpha Psi and the Scouts on some of our other buildings. So I'm very much looking forward to what you guys will do in these properties. And I've heard you've already been doing some fundraising, which, as Director Cotton said, they've been unused for a number of years. So we appreciate you guys, pushing up your sleeves and getting to work. So I don't know if any of the other commissioners have questions or comments.
No, just thank you. Thank you for saying yes and still offering willingness to work with government, with local government, and allowing our small part of our local government to be a resource. So thank you for trusting us with your partnership, and thank you for trusting us with your values and your cultural stances. And so hopefully we'll be better together, and this can be mutually beneficial in a way that we can learn, just as we offer, things to you that we can also receive and take away those learnings. So thank you.
All right.
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item is passed. Thank you all. Yeah, thank you.
All right down there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Lease was, didn't it?
Thank you.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you
assuming
so
we'll
much.
find that out.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for serving, sir. Excuse me, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Hey, Director Cotton, Commissioner Taylor just asked me, how long, what's the term of this agreement?
Initially be 3 years with options to renew.
And that's a similar structure that we've done.
It's the
for-
same as
yeah,
most
for
other
the
groups, yes.
Kappas.
Thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 32623, considering board approval of a bid award to American Lawn and Landscape Incorporated for tree planting services in the amount of $1,095,042. Is Stephen here?
Stephen's out.
Okay.
Kevin's here for him.
Well, welcome.
I was wondering who you was pointing.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Kevin Lapointe, City Forester.
Yes.
The contract is one of our primary contracts for planting trees around the city, and the various fund sources that we receive funding for trees, PIAC projects. Our normal funding we have a large part of it goes into this contract. So we again cover PIAC projects and removal of trees around the city, whether it's ash trees or trees that forestry is removing that have died, and we're replanting, replacing trees.
Great. All right. I have a motion to approve.
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Thanks. Glenn.
Thank you very much.
The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32624, considering board approval of a memorandum of agreement with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for the Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Heritage Center and Museum. Emil Cleaver, the executive director of the museum, is here to speak.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Heritage Center and Museum is comprised of a building, grounds, parking lot, and historical collection, with the building and grounds owned by the state, the parking lot owned by the parks, and the historical collection owned by the Friends of Bruce R. Watkins. In addition, Parks and Recreation manages and operates BRW, including the historical collection. KCP&R and DNR entered into successive cooperative agreements stating that KC Parks and Recreation would maintain and operate BRW, most recently by cooperative agreement dated October 1st, 2014 for a 10-year term. In state fiscal year 2024-2025, the Missouri legislature appropriated $150,000 of general revenue through DNR to Kansas City Parks and Rec for the purpose of strategic planning and programming for the BRW. At this time, we would like to enter a MOU with DNR, allowing KC Parks and Rec to continue strategic planning and programming for BRW using the $150,000 appropriated funds. Terms of the agreement expiring June 30th. Staff recommends Park Board approval of the memorandum of agreement with DNR.
Thank you, Mr. Cleaver. Grateful to get that appropriation again, and thank you for your efforts on that.
Yep. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The item has passed. Thanks, Mr. Cleaver. The next item on the agenda, and thanks, Ms. Gale. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32625, considering board approval of a facility use with concession agreement with KCBC Oktoberfest LLC and KC Beer Company for the use of Grand Boulevard to hold KC Oktoberfest. Events Administrator Rob Loya is here to speak.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you. Yes, this is the annual Oktoberfest. They use Grand as part of their footprint in the Grand Center area. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32626, considering board approval of a facility use with concession agreement with Jay-Z Entertainment for the use of the Great Lawn to hold an R&B music festival. Mr. Loya.
Thank you. Yes, this will be a concert on the Great Lawn with portions of the profits being donated to the American Cancer Society.
Great.
Any
Move to
questions?
approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32627, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Show Me Riders Horse Club for the use of Little Blue Valley Park to hold the Pumpkins and Ponies event. Mr. Loya.
Another annual event, family event for the Show Me Riders group, great group. Any questions?
Love that we're partnering with them. Move to approve.
Yes.
All in favor?
It's a great
Aye.
event.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32628, considering board approval of a facility use with concession agreement with the Kansas City Rose Society for the use of the Laura Conyer Smith Municipal Rose Garden for the annual Wine and Roses event. Mr. Loya.
I'm really just helping them get everything straight with their COI for liquor coverage and annual event at the Rose Garden.
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. All right, final item with Mr. Loya is resolution number 32629, considering board approval of an agreement with Kansas City Community Gardens for the use of the Beanstalk Garden and Orchard in Swope Park to hold their Gardens in Sunset event.
Yes, this is another fundraising event. Again, I'm really just helping them make sure everything's in order.
I do have a question, actually. Can you talk me through why we decide to waive fees for certain events and not, I understand that there's probably a nonprofit element to some of that, but
It all depends. We're partners with them, right, Carmen? So that would be the case for this one.
Yeah, we've been having an annual agreement with them in Swope Park for over 20 years, probably. So, yeah, they're our partner with the Parks Department. Commissioner Taylor, is your question also like how do other people get access to it, or like?
yeah, just looking at a couple of these, I see that some $5,000 for one event, $2,200 for a 2-day event, so I'm just wondering where, how do we decide that?
Really, it's absolutely not my choice. It's on a case-by-case basis per request.
Maybe we could get some clarity on that, Director Cotton.
Because I believe there are actually set fees,
There are.
and there's a formula, and then some organizations submit for a waiver of some sort. But to, I think, the inner point of some people may not even know that they can do that. So how can we better communicate the access?
And so a lot of events too, what you'll see with relatively low rates are encouraged by some of our city council members as well. So we always take that into consideration. I don't know the particulars on this one, but we can definitely look into it.
Okay, thank you.
A lot with cooperative agreements, they provide services in lieu of rent, provide services like maintenance or programming, and that's, it just depends on, the non-for-profits who are, because most of them that we get large fees for are for-profit corporations that run events.
Okay, thank you for that.
All right, any other questions on this one?
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Thanks, Mr. Loya.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32630, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with the Greater Kansas City Golden Gloves Association Incorporated for the use of Garrison Community Center. Jennifer Jett, Superintendent of Community Services, is here to speak.
Good afternoon. So this was going to be an amendment to extend the Golden Gloves agreement. However, we made some changes to their agreement. So the changes that were made are that they're shifting more towards focusing on the competitive boxing program. We recently hired someone who has a background in boxing, and they were very excited to take over recreational youth boxing. So that will be coming in-house with our staff, and Golden Gloves will remain focused on the competitive end, and they focus on youth and young adult, female and male boxing. And then they have also changed their programming days. They will be programming Monday through Thursday, 5 to 7. So that removes a Saturday from their schedule that we will be picking up on our end with recreational boxing.
I'm excited about the partnership. It seems like us being able to take on recreation is great, so. Any other questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Items passed. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 32631, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with the Kansas City Youth Hockey Association for the use of Line Creek Community Center. Ms. Judd.
Thank you. So another hockey agreement at Line Creek. That season is getting ready to get started. The ice is $300 per hour. Youth hockey will be running for 28 weeks, and we anticipate total compensation of $163,800 for this season.
Appreciate that. Move to approve?
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32632, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Fat Man Rowdy Enterprises LLC for the use of Line Creek Community Center. Ms. Jett.
Thank you. It is a fun one. We've been partnered with Fat Man Rowdy, and they've been renting ice from us for quite some time now. Their adult league practices and has games multiple times a week. We are anticipating a total compensation of $145,700 for this season.
Great.
Also appreciate this. Move to approve.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Items passed. Thanks, Ms. Jett.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is a recommendation to rename the trail in Buckeye Greenway Park the Teresa Lynn Reinard Trail. I will invite Deputy Director Allen to speak further on this proposal.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This request was received from Daniel Reinert to rename Buckeye Greenway Park to Teresa Lynn Reinert, but we call her Terry. And Ms. Reinert was the Director of Parks and Recreation from 2019 to 2021. She held several roles for the department over several years. She was the first female director for the department, and Terry lived next to the park as a child. Staff's recommending naming the whole trail system within Buckeye Greenway Park the Teresa Lynn Reinert Trail. And with that, we'll be glad to answer any questions. And then also, we'll kind of point out that I think as the board, I think, you have several options with this, item. You could accept the recommendation from Mr. Reinert, or you could accept staff's recommendation, or you can table the issue for further consideration. So.
Thank you. Anyone have questions for Deputy Director Allen?
All right. Thank you.
I'll note, Director Reiner, do you want to go ahead and speak now? You're on the public testimony part, but I know, while we're talking about it, I'd like to invite you to come on up.
Yeah, connect the dots.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, President Hayden, and the rest of the board. I appreciate the opportunity. I just wanted to come forward to make a couple comments. Obviously, personally, it's flattering to have something named after you, but I still don't understand the why on why the original request for the park was changed to a trail. There is mention of only 2.5 years as the director. I believe that was mentioned to me verbally. Understand there are some long-term directors around here, which is a great thing, and it certainly leads to stability in an organization, but it also can lead to some staleness. I don't think the department ever intentionally built a glass ceiling for myself, LGBTQ community, persons of color, but I also don't think they've done a good job of intentionally developing a succession plan that is more equitable and diverse. Why this is so difficult for me? I really struggled, I was asked to provide information for the bio. I struggled, and it's because it's me. If this was anyone else's name going on with this exact same resume and all that they have done, I would be all on board with fighting that justice issue. But it's me, and that's hard. People who know me know I don't stand in front of the camera. I don't care where my name is. But I think I have 2 daughters and 3 granddaughters, and if I don't stand up for something that I'm this passionate about, I don't think I'm setting a good example for them. So let's keep working toward some diversity and equity in the succession planning in this department. And I would just make a request that the original request of naming Buckeye Greenway be considered.
Thank you, Director Reiner. Anyone else on this matter? All right. Well, then I think in accordance with the department's naming policy, 30-day public notice is open, and so if anyone has comments they want to provide, they can direct those to the board, and we will revisiting this recommendation at a future board meeting.
Right, I think at the next board meeting, we'll just put it again on the agenda so people know it's on the agenda that they can, anyone who wants to come check
Okay.
it out.
Great,
And then the vote will happen in October.
Yeah,
thank you.
just so people are aware that it's on the
Yeah.
agenda rather than waiting.
Thank you.
Final item on the agenda is an update on the selection of the artists for the Brush Creek Heritage Trail, and Ricky Sanchez is here to provide an update.
Hello, Commissioners. I have a presentation to hand out to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I promise we're getting really close to getting this one done. All right. So second slide on your page there kind of reintroduces you to the site. So we have Paseo to Cleveland over at the Spirit of Freedom Fountain. That's kind of where this whole trail is going to start. Emmanuel Cleaver Boulevard to the north, Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard to the south. Right now we have 14 nodes, again, kind of reorienting you to the site. Again, we have selected an artist through the city's municipal art commission and with the help of the public art administrator. They have selected Wesley Clark of Wesley Clark Art to help with the flat work of the center art pieces of the plaza areas for the 14 nodes. The art portion of this project will be contracted through General Services Department and managed through the Public Art Administrator, as the art will be funded through the 1% for Art program through the GO bond, or the GEO bond. So, in the next couple of slides, they just kind of give draft examples of the flat art that the artist has provided. So these are not the official art pieces that the artist has, these are just what they have provided for examples of what they can do for us. So a lot of it's going to be like an etched medallion, a lot of, stonework, granite details, cast concrete with color in it. Right now we have been in contact with the artist where they're kind of finalizing their contract, but we've been talking about materials that they're going to be using, kind of what the warranties are, durabilities of these things, that sort of thing. And so we are starting to get kind of into the details of what these things are going to look like. And then you can start seeing them in the context plans that they also provided. So you can see the larger, they're going to be 30-foot wide plazas, 10-foot wide pieces of art, flat on the ground. And so I'm available for any questions if you have any.
No, Ricky, I'd just like to say and to thank the members of the Municipal Arts Commission for all the time and attention, and also especially thank those that sat on the panel to select the artists. So just know, colleagues, that has been a lot of due diligence and thought that multiple teams, the layered effect, has had on this. So we are happy that this is coming to fruition.
And can you share Wesley's contact information once that contract is signed? I'd like to reach out and congratulate him on this selection.
Most definitely, yes.
I'm sure he'll be happy to receive that.
All right.
It's very exciting. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, I will now ask Director Cotton to give his director's update to the board.
Yes, thank you. The first public meeting for the replacement of the Arbavilla Fill and Drain Pool took place on August 20th. There were over 90 adults and 20 children in attendance. The 63rd and Zoo Drive bids have been submitted to CREO for review. The first open house public meeting for the Bruce Watkins Community Connector Park is tonight from 6 to 7:30 at Mary Williams Neal Community Center. Construction has begun on the Prospect Park soccer field. Resurfacing work has begun on the Holmes Park skating rink. The park ranger staffing is up to 9 rangers now. There are still 4 openings to fill. During the month of August, they oversaw the decommissioning of 3 large houseless camps and made contact with over 248 houseless individuals. Staff removed illegal dumping at Town Fork Creek Park, Blue Valley Park, Oldham, and Blue River Road. Staff completed ethnic festival cleanup. The event had a reported attendance of 38,696 participants,
Holy smokes.
plus 1,750 volunteers, 763 performers for a grand total of 41,259. 7,300 pounds of food scraps were diverted from the landfill through the composting efforts, and 900 pounds of glass were collected for recycling via the Ambassador Program. Mayor's Nights finished up on 8/17 and had 999 registered participants. Major pools and community center pools closed on August 18th. The Bay and the Springs will be open weekends this weekend, and fall programs begin September 3rd. Thank you.
Can we just give a shout out to the Ethnic Festival because it was
Mm-hmm.
999 degrees
It
outside.
was. And they are going to come, I think at our next meeting, give a detailed report. So yes, it was warm. Now, it was a little warmer last summer, but we did add misting tents this year
Yeah.
for people to get out of the heat, so.
Well, thank you. We will now move into public hearing. Any members of the public who wish to address the board, public testimony is limited to 2 minutes. We will have a timer running, and you will need to end your testimony when that goes off. Our first person who has signed up is Greg Lombardi.
Very good to appear before you. My name is Greg Lombardi. I'm head of Neighborhood Legal Support of Kansas City, a not-for-profit law firm that works with blighted and abandoned houses, the former president or executive director of the Lycans Neighborhood Association. I'm here to talk on behalf of EDO Youth Soccer Academies, youth of the 9th and Van Brunt soccer field. My office is right on the Lycan Square Park, and I've seen a fantastic revitalization of that park in the last 5 years. Great work with the Parks Department, and Mr. Allen has done fantastic work on that. Also, the Sunderland Foundation has donated over $500,000 for that development. One of the biggest things is Victor Muniz and the EDO Youth Academy has started soccer in that park. It's been a gigantic transition. When we started off 5 years ago, the park was primarily a crime scene. Lots of drug dealing, lots of human trafficking. When Victor and his kids came to that park, it pushed the crime away. And now, 4 nights a week, there are 50 to 80 kids playing soccer in the park, and they bring families. It makes your heart feel good. If you want to feel good, go down to Lycan Square Park. They have had overflow because of the use. They really need to use the 9th and Van Brunt soccer fields and use that 2 nights a week for their older kids. It's just a fantastic use of a community resource, and my understanding is that there's some question as to whether they would be able to continue on with that. And I strongly advocate for them to be able to continue to do that. They have made a gigantic, gigantic difference in the Lycans neighborhood. So I hope the department will continue to back them and continue to allow them to use that facility.
Thank you, Mr. Lombardi. And I will say, as a fellow attorney, I know you're doing a lot of very good things around the city, so very grateful for you. I guess, Deputy Director Clay, can I ask you, on the calendar that we got, it said that EDO was going to be partnering on the Parks and Rec time. Is that?
That is correct, yes. Victor's working with our staff, and those kids are actually registering through Parks and Rec as a group program.
Okay. Thank you. Next is Gilbert Rizzo.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
How are you, everybody?
Good.
Today, I come here, last week I came very happy, you guys remember. I mean, last, and then today I'm very sad because everything happens against me and my organization. I'm one of the hardest workers for kids for forever, over 12 years, everybody know me. This is kind of the prizes that we give to the kids, right here, first, second, third place. We have a champion teacher, very motivations. Individual trophies for individual champion, plus the best score, the best goalkeeper. We motivated to these kids a lot. Money we get in, money we go back to them. But unfortunately, at this time, something going on with the parks again. Then don't allow me to continue with the same programs I had. Everybody joined to the parks want to do everything now, and they're going to kick me out at the beginning. Every single contract is going to kick me out. Long time ago, Ms. Terry is a witness. They're going to kick me out, but she helped me a lot and will continue, and she can help me with the concessions because she knew we're doing really good job for the community and for the kids programs. And for some reason, I don't know if it's any personal with the organization or something, but we work for like 30, 34 academies. They're involved into our organization. We are a league. The league give prizes, we give official games, referees, and we provide everything to them. So I don't understand why now the Parks and Recreation try to take me out, and they're recruiting all the coaches and the players playing an organization and try to get them to do their own programs, now Parks and Recreation. To me, it's like no respect for me, no respect for a citizen, because they are public servers and I'm a citizen and I'm paying for everything. I always pay for everything, and I have right here is one of the, because Mrs. Smith told us needs to be clear. Can you pass it around, please? I pay that and more and more. I have extras that I pay everything. So it needs to be transparent for everybody. So I ask you, all commissioners, do you guys want me to continue doing this job for the community, or you guys want me to kick you out too? You let me know. I need your help. I want really to
What was the
continue
question
working.
again? I'm sorry. Can you repeat the
Do
question?
you guys like me to continue working for this community, or you don't like me to continue for this community? Because you don't like me to continue with this community because you guys come and report every month. Every month is beautiful reports. And then now, I have no contract for the fall season.
I understand that you've been given a
Yes.
contract for 14 hours a week. So you've been offered a contract,
For
14 hours
for
for a
fall.
week for the fall.
But no kids, no nothing. The kids is priority, and they're keeping me up with the priority. Actually, can you pass this? The city councils, they're very happy for what we're doing too. Everybody's very happy, except Parks and Recreations. I never come here and ask for money or for my own projects. Help me for 5,000, help me for 10,000 for shoes, for soccer balls or uniforms. I never ask for anything. Actually, I always give revenue to the Parks and Recreation. At least I get $50,000 every year Parks and Recreation revenue, every single year. I never ask for any money for any project I got. I support myself, and when people support me, and then I support Parks, and then I support the people back for the money they give me back to me. So I ask for your help. If you want me to continue doing this, let me know. If you don't want me to continue this, it's okay, kick me out. You want to kick you out, a good people, for a good citizen, somebody helping the community, the kids, and all the programs? Why?
Okay. Well,
Please,
thank you. I think
but we really
your
want to
it's
have
your
a new
wife's turn
contract,
now.
and I wait for you guys as soon as possible for your answer.
Okay, thank you. I think it's your wife's turn now.
Thank you. This is the championship we had yesterday, and you guys can take a look. That's for the ladies program. That's all, señor.
Hi, Commissioner. We want to continue working for this community. I need your help for a good contract, please. I believe in you. Please help to continue this program, because I had a lot of people. I had around 500 kids. They play on Saturday, so I don't know what I do. It was 500 kids for Saturday, so they cancel on Saturday. So please help to continue the kids. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That picture is for the ladies night.
Yes,
So
sir.
last night is a finals, the championship.
So to answer the question, President Hayden, did you have a response?
No, please go ahead.
Okay. So to answer the question, to the Rizzos, first of all, thank you all for your partnership. You all have been steady in your update that you have given. What, from my perspective, I won't speak on behalf of the board because everybody has a mic, but we have asked for information, and you all have provided great qualitative data, telling the stories and giving us some context behind what is, but we've also asked for quantitative data. And so I want to share a little bit of this data that we have in front of us. So for the fall season, and staff, please make sure I'm being accurate, 94.5 hours have been requested by 5 different prospect partners, plus the Parks and Rec. Because what I want to do is do something that can be very challenging, because I understand people who have a heart for service, everything feels personal. I've been there. So that's why I want to recognize your heart. But I want to detangle the personalization that I'm hearing through the operationalization that is happening. Okay? So what is operations, and how can we effectively and equitably, where needed and equally where expected, attend to all the needs that are happening. And that is different than perhaps what you feel personally. So 94.5 hours have been requested. Of that, 49 hours across those 5 partnering institutions, plus the Parks and Rec, have been given. On average, every requester has gotten 50% of what they asked for, with the exception to Guadalupe. I believe Guadalupe, according to this, they asked for 8 to 12 hours. They receive 8 to 12 hours, which is second to the lowest amount, which was 6 hours was the lowest amount, and that's really for open play. So I'm saying 5, but I'm including open play or the community as a partner. So with that, what this board, and there's 2 iterations, I think, that help put their fingerprints on the policy use piece, which we've gone over in detail, and I think that's important for all those that are interested. To our previous speaker, sir, thank you. That policy use is meant to be an open and transparent accountability tool to hold the board and staff accountable, and also to help manage the expectations of what the community can pursue and what they should expect in the process. So I want to share that out loud, because without the connectivity of quantitative and qualitative, like I said, it can feel personal. What I can say is that in my observation and watchful eye of the staff, and I'm not all seeing, so, but that is my understanding of how it came. So yes, will it? And it sounds like it will impact your programming. And so we recognize that, but this follows what the kind of protocol and process that this board, in conjunction with the city council, who also approved the policy, had. And so what I love about this forum, it is open democracy and open voice, so we welcome that. It helps us monitor and adjust. But I want to make sure that you understand the process that has happened, so that we can all be held accountable and do what we're supposed to do. So team, did I miss anything? Is there another consideration? Staff, get me right where I'm wrong.
No, I mean, Commissioner Smith, thank you. That was a great summary. I just, we are at a real disadvantage this year of this is hopefully our last season of one field. Next spring, hopefully the second field will be ready, and then there'll be double the amount of reservations that could be made. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm hoping there's more people asking for time on the fields next spring as well. But, we've got a limited commodity, and we're just trying to spread out the uses among a number of different groups who all want to use it, so.
Yeah, but one more thing, can I say? I understand everything that you're telling me, that's correct, but I still have 4 more weeks to finish the tournament, the championship. What I'm gonna do to play the championship and keep going for 4 more weeks? I'm out right now, or gonna give a chance to finish the tournament, all the tournaments I got running, and I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I'm not even finished the tournament, so I don't know. I put these trophies on trash, and the kids are gonna say, I'm sorry, the person recreation don't let you play here.
So is your request, I want to be clear about what the request is. I hear you. Is your request consideration for how to close out the tournaments that are upcoming? Was that not put in the original contract? Was that not written in? Did we miss those dates?
Yes, the problem was somebody robbed the copper on 9th Street, and the bathrooms, restrooms, and concession, they broken everything down. And then we can have no restrooms like for 2-3 weeks. And then we had to cancel because the ladies needs to go to the restrooms, the kids, the girls needs to go to the restroom.
Okay.
And then they put a portable restrooms, and then for 6 weeks, and never cleaning, not even one time. duty for all the ladies.
Okay,
So you see what I mean?
So,
Our communities have no respect.
thank you. And I want to be sensitive of time, one, because we way past the 2 minutes, but I'm still trying to understand, and we still have some other business to get to, and I've got a hard stop. Anyway, so I'm hearing you say there was unforeseen delay, which caused the regularly scheduled game. So now this is trying to accommodate what the delay is. So we won't be able to figure this out right now. Of course, President Hayden, you can determine this, but I think that as the staff team hears this and under President Hayden's leadership, we can follow up and let you know. That doesn't mean that it will or won't, but data will help lead the way to figure out. But thank you for voicing your needs and your concerns. Yes.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Muniz, are you? All right.
How's it going?
Good. Good to see you.
This is my first time talking to everybody here. Mr. Pat, you were absent last time.
He's back.
Yeah, it's a good thing in my opinion. So I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be here, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I wanted to say thank you to Parks and Rec. Thank you for the partnership that we have going on. This is technically my 4th partnership this year. I don't know about this year. I've been blessed. I've been blessed by FIFA, by the World Cup, by the Copa America Federation. That means the World Cup we're gonna have here in 2026. I was the youth in. I was the youth facilitator for the Peru versus Canada game, where unfortunately a referee fainted. I took 42 kids to that game, all paid by Copa America. Took 22 kids to the U.S. versus Uruguay game, all paid by FIFA. And the most coolest part was having an opportunity to be next to the Kansas City Current, which is 5 minutes away from literally all the kids in the neighborhood. I won't say any names, but they made it happen. They made it happen. Girls never been on a super cool bus. Girls didn't even know that there was a soccer team down there. They went there, free food, awesome time. A lot of them got to walk with the players, with the South American team and the Japanese team. I just want to say thank you for this partnership, and I wish there's more partnerships that we can create with more youth and make a safe environment with the city of Kansas City. And I appreciate you all.
Thank you, Mr. Muniz. And thank you to the Kansas City Current.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Muniz, can I just ask you really quick, when we were talking earlier about your time with EDO being concurrent with the Parks and Rec scheduled time, that works for you for this fall?
The current moment, it does.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, no, I'm not asking you to commit forever, but for the current.
I'll be grateful whenever I get.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, that's everyone who signed up. Is there anyone else here who didn't speak? Okay. All right. Well, with that, we have to move into closed session to discuss a real estate matter and attorney-client privilege matters. May I have a motion to move into closed session?
I move pursuant to section 610.21, subsection 1 of the revised statutes of Missouri to discuss legal matters, litigation and privilege communications with attorneys, and also pursuant to section 610.021, subsection 2 of the revised statute of Missouri to discuss real estate.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith, always my legal gal. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we will now move into closed session. Our next meeting will be September 10th, 2024 at 5:00 PM. Thank you all for coming.